Hello children, welcome to AIMS India's online classes. This is biology session. You are watching body movements part 3. So far we have completed some of the important joints like ball and socket joint, pivot joint, hinge joint. These are all a joint is a place where two bones attach together. The movement of body parts are possible only when there is a joint. Okay, that's why they are called movable joints. So for example, you can take this ball and socket joint. Where this ball and socket joint present, children? Yes, they are present in the shoulder. They are present in the hip region. See, move in all directions. These arrow marks indicates the direction. Whereas if you take the pivot joint, where it is present? It is present in the neck region. Okay. So this arrow mark indicates the movement of a particular organ depends upon the joint present in it or a joint associated with it, isn't it? Okay, then you see here how to prepare a ball and socket joint. Okay, activity we have done. Then preparation of hinge joint also we have done. So here the movement is only forth and back, only in one direction here the movement, whereas in ball and socket joint in almost all directions, in many directions. Okay, so let us study more about these joints. Start with an activity 4. Take a deep breath and hold it for a little while. Feel your chest bones and the backbone by gently pressing the middle of the chest and back at the same time. Okay, this activity to understand the bones which are present in the chest region, isn't it? Take a deep breath and hold it for a little while. Feel your chest bones and the backbone by gently pressing the middle of the chest and back at the same time. Count as many ribs. The bones of the chest, they are called ribs. Count it as possible. So you can observe the figure here. So this is the rib cage. Carefully you can observe and compare with what you feel of the chest bones. Okay, you can feel, you can touch it, and you can compare with this figure. We see that the ribs are curiously bent. You can see here how they are bent. The ribs are curiously bent. They join the chest. They join the chest bone. This is the chest bone, or it is also called the breastbone. Okay. So in the skeleton system we can call it as sternum. Okay. The chest bone and the backbone also together to form a box like structure. So the ribs bent curiously such that they join the chest bone and the backbone together to form a box like structure. So this box like structure is called a rib cage. Okay, there are 12 pairs of ribs. You can count here: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There are 12 pairs of ribs on each side of the chest. Okay, some important internal parts of our body lie protected inside the rib cage. Okay, So tell me, what are the organs which are present inside the rib cage? Yeah, heart and lungs, the most vital organs. One of it a respiratory organ, another one the machine, the organ of transport system or circulatory system. Those two organs, it is one of the important function of the skeleton system to protect the internal organs. What are the internal organs protected by this rib cage? Lungs and heart. So ask some friends to touch their toes without bending their knees. Starting from the neck, move your fingers downwards on the back of your friend. What you feel in the backbone? Okay, you can count, you can feel the bones like structures. It is made up of many small bones, that is called a vertebral column. Okay, each bone, it is called as vertebrae. Okay, there is a long bone, it is not a single bone, it is made up of small bones called vertebrae. Okay, the entire structure is called backbone or vertebral column. The backbone consisting of 33 vertebrae. How many small bones are present in the vertebral column? 33. What do you call those small bones? Vertebrae. Okay, the rib cage is joined to these bones. If backbone was made up of only one long bone, will your friend be able to bend? Will you be able to bend? No. Isn't it? Because of that spring-like structure, we can able to bend, we can able to stretch. Okay, make your friend stand with both hands pressed to the wall and ask him or her to push the wall. Okay, so this is the small bones together form the backbone. So each one it is called as vertebrae. How many vertebrae are there? There are 33 vertebrae are present. Okay, these 33 vertebrae combine together to form backbone or vertebral column. Okay, children, do you notice the two bones on the back are prominent where the shoulders are? Definitely. Okay, shoulder bones, they are prominent, they are called shoulder bones. They are called shoulder bones. So observe in this figure. So this is the rib cage, this is the vertebral column, and this is the shoulder bones. This structure is made up of a girdle. It is called pelvic girdle. Pelvic girdle or shoulder girdle, you can also call it as. These bones are called pelvic bones. Okay, the pelvic girdle is made up of pelvic bones. So these are the pelvic bones. Okay. So this is pelvic bone girdle or pelvic bones. Okay, sorry, here the shoulder bones, they are called pectoral bones. Pectoral bones, and it will form the pectoral girdle. Okay, shoulder region. Whereas hip region, pelvic bones form the pelvic girdle. Okay, they enclose the portion of your body below the stomach. The pelvic bones enclose the portion of the body below the stomach, abdomen. So this is the part you sit on. The skull, next come to the skull. The skull is made up of many bones joined together. So here this is the skull, many bones joined together, and it encloses and protects a very important part of the body. What is it? The brain. The brain is protected by the skull. You can compare the skull with the other parts of the body. In the skull, there are bones are present. 22 bones are present. But all those bones are joined together, but there is no movement in the skull bones. What happens if there is a movement in the skull bones? They may damage the brain. Brain is a very delicate, smooth, and the very important organ of our body, isn't it? So it must be need more protection. So the skull acts like a helmet. It acts like a box. It is called cranium, which protects the brain. Okay. Next, we discussed many bones and the joints of our skeleton. There are some additional parts of the skeleton that are not as hard as bones and which can be bent. So these are called cartilage. What do you call those which can bend, which are not hard, which are somewhat spongy? They are called cartilage. For example, you can feel your ear. You can touch your ear, external ear. Do you find any hard bony part that can be bent? No. Okay, it is just like a flap. It is just like a skin, thick skin, isn't it? There do not seem to be any bones here, isn't it? Do you notice anything different between the earlobe and the portion above it as you press it? As you press them between your fingers? Yes. Isn't it? The ear is somewhat elastic. You can bend it. Okay. So here, upper part of the ear has cartilage. So this portion which is flexible, which we can bend, which is elastic, okay, it is called a cartilage. So this portion below the ear lobe, okay, it is somewhat only skin attachment, isn't it? For which earrings we can wear. So such bones which can be bent, which are not hard, they are called cartilage. So can you say the similar type of part in your body? Yes. You touch your nose. Okay. The nose is also contain some part made up of cartilage. You do feel something in the upper parts of the ear that is not as soft as the ear lobe, but not as hard as a bone. Is it not, children? Yes. This is cartilage. The cartilage is also found in the joints of the body. We have seen that our skeleton is made up of many bones, joints, and cartilage. You could feel, bend, and move many of them. We have learnt about the bones in our body and about joints that help us move in different ways. What makes the bones move the way they do? What makes the bones move the way they do? Joints. Okay, let us find out. So here this is the upper part and this is the lower lobe. The lower lobe is soft, but the upper part of the ear is not as soft as the lower lobe. Okay, and it is also not hard as the bone. So it is the cartilage. Only the upper part of the ear is the cartilage. Next, make a fist. Make a fist with one hand. Bend your arm at the elbow. Bend your arm at the elbow and touch your shoulder. And touch your shoulder with the thumb. As shown in the figure here, like this. First, A part, you can fold the fingers, form the fist with one hand, bend your arm at the elbow. Okay, you can bend your arm at the elbow and touch your shoulder. And touch your shoulder with the thumb. Okay. So, do you see any change in your upper arm? Touch it with the other hand. Okay, you can see this. This is the portion which bulges out. Okay. Do you observe a swollen region in the upper arm? Yeah. This is a muscle. What do you call that? A muscle. The muscle bulged due to contraction. Contraction means it became smaller in length. Okay, now what you do? Now bring your arm back to its normal position. What happened to the muscle? Is it still bulged? No. It has become normal. Okay, so the two muscles work together to move a bone here. So these are called muscles. Okay. Now we are going to learn about the muscles. You can observe similar contraction of muscles in your leg when you walk or run. Isn't it? When contracted, the muscle becomes shorter, stiffer and thicker. It pulls the bones. Okay, when muscle contracts, what happens? The muscle becomes shorter, stiffer and thicker. It pulls the bone. The muscles work in pairs, means working together. When one of them contracts, the bone is pulled in that direction. The other muscle of the pair relaxes. Okay, the muscles work in groups, work in pairs. So when one of the muscle contracts, what happens? The bone is pulled in the direction, the particular direction. The other muscle of the pair relaxes. So to move the bone in the opposite direction, the relaxed muscle contracts to pull the bone towards its original position, while the first one relax. When one muscle relax, what happens? Other will contract. That contracted muscle will pull the bone in that particular direction. The meanwhile, other muscle will relax. Then next, another one relax and another one contracts. Like that, the muscle works in pairs. The mechanism of working of the muscle is contraction and relaxation. Contraction and relaxation. When contracts, the muscle pulls the bone. When relax, it releases. Okay. So a muscle can only pull, it cannot push. Thus, two muscles have to work together to move a bone. Okay, the two muscles work together to move a bone. This is the concept we have learnt. Okay, let us continue with another activity. Gait of animals. Gait. What is gait? Position. Okay, are muscles and bones always required for movement? Yes. In some animals there are no bones. How do other animals move? Do all animals have bones? No. So what about animals like earthworm or a snail? Is there any bones? No. Let us study the manner of movement, that is the gait of some animals. Gait means the manner of movement. Observe an earthworm moving on a soil in a garden. Gently lift it and place it on a piece of blotting or filter paper. Observe its movement. Okay, then place it on a smooth glass plate or any slippery surface. Observe its movement. It is different from that on a paper. In which of the above two surfaces do you find that earthworm is able to move easily? On a glass plate or a smooth surface? You can see. So this is the earthworm. How the earthworm is moving. See, it uses its muscles. There are no limbs in the earthworm. Okay, so these are the muscles which are contracting and relaxing. The skin of the earthworm helps to move forth. Okay, so this is the first position, 0. Now 1, 2. It has covered this much distance. Okay, the movement of earthworm. Okay, it is a crawling like movement. Okay, children, you try to observe the different animals and their movements. Okay, thank you for watching our video. Please subscribe our channel and press the bell icon for receiving latest updates.